Hi guys, how's it going? How's everybody doing? I hope everything's going great in your neck of the woods, wherever that might be. In today's video, I wanted to start off doing my collection series and showing you what is in my collection. And I have been really working on this beauty room. Oh, it is a mess. So, as you might can imagine, I have a huge makeup collection, and sometimes I don't know that my channel reflects that. Sometimes I wonder if my channel really reflects that. I sort of think that in some ways I am sort of secretive about in some ways, I think that I am somewhat secretive about just what a vast collection I do have. I think I'm a little bit embarrassed that I have such a makeup hoarding problem. I think that's really it. I have a Houston, we have a problem. So I have a very, very big collection, and I don't really think that I mind my viewers knowing what a vast collection I have. Sometimes I think that I don't want the vast majority of people, though, outside of my viewers, like, you know, friends or family, to know how vast my collection is. That's the truth. That's my truth. I wonder if other YouTubers, makeup junkies, makeup enthusiasts, makeup hoarders, I wonder if other people who have such vast collections, I wonder if they are embarrassed by the size of their makeup collections. I wonder if they don't want to show it because they don't want people to realize that they have this much. So I think that's me. I really do. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Confessions of a makeup enthusiast, confessions of a makeup hoarder. This is what I've got. I'm making changes to how much makeup I collect. I'm making changes to how much makeup that I buy. I really have not been buying makeup, a lot of makeup. I think did I buy makeup in March? Yes, I did. I bought makeup in March. If you care to see my collection, I am going to be doing this series. I am going to go through my entire freaking collection. I mean everything from skincare to every single freaking palette, whether it is a face palette, an eyeshadow palette, every single stitch of blush that I own, every bronzer that I own, everything. I'm going to lay my inventory out. And that way I know what I've got. So I'm doing it. But let's start with my colorful, what I'm calling my colorful, otherwise I don't know where else to put it at, palettes. So if you want to see those, just keep watching. We're getting into it right now. I actually am wearing volume 2. So here's volume 1, and then volume 3, which is the orange volume that looks like this. Volume 1, which has more of a purple feel to it. It's beautiful. It's got purple, mustards, blues, and probably maybe a little bit more wearable to a lot of people. I think that there's a lot of doable shades in here, a lot of neutral tones, a lot of purples, a lot of pinks, a lot of mulberries, a lot of wines. I think it's a very, very wearable palette. I it's not my favorite one. I actually am really drawn to the number 2 palette. I don't really know why. I love the number 2. The formula on these palettes are superb. You don't need much. You can use these palettes and not even tell that you've ever used them. Just by barely tip-tapping your brush in here, you get so much pigment off of these. But they are absolutely beautiful. As far as these type of shades here in D1 and E2, A4, A5, you just apply those with your fingers and it's just absolutely beautiful. But I really love this particular palette right here. It's my favorite, and it's really weird because I really almost didn't pick this one up, but I love volume 2. Volume 3 is my next favorite. I'm just a very big fan of the warmth, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I love this shade right here. It's just to die for. It's so gorgeous. I don't even know that you can tell how pretty that is, but oh, it's really pretty. So I just love the palettes. I love the big mirrors on the palettes. These are some of my favorites. I could have put this in a lot of different places. I could have put it in the warm grouping. I could have put it in the pink grouping. This is the Nabla Secret palette. Some of the prettiest shades in here is the Fantasize shade, and then the Rosemary shade right here. But Nabla Cosmetics is really a nice brand. So we got this one in a boxy charm. Really, this one should have been in my neutrals because it's just really a cool tone neutral palette, but I went ahead and just kept them all 3 together in here. And then I've got, this is the Pretty Birdie palette, and these are running at the TJ Maxx, but it's a really pretty palette, and it's just full of colors. Purples, blues, greens, cranberries. It's just gorgeous. Also, I went ahead and kept the Phoenix Rising, which is kind of a cranberry color palette in here. It's purple, berry, wine, kind of a rust color, brown. It's really pretty. I really like this one. I have a total of 47 palettes in this grouping. And my Glam Light Pizza Meat Lovers palette. I've done a look with this palette in a collab with Darissa Rain, and this is a really pretty palette. Then I have the Urban Decay Elements palette, and this was a holiday release from 2018, and that's what this one looks like. So there's a lot of different colors in here. I just love some of these shades over here. This green color is just really pretty. This blue color, really pigmented and pretty. I mean, look at that. This is a really good palette. I need to pull this out and start using it more. It is so gorgeous. And here's another green one. Look at how pretty. Really need to start using this more. This was in the pop-up shop at BoxyCharm, and this is what this palette looks like. These are some really bright, pretty colors. I am not going to swatch this. I'm going to wait until I see what I'm going to declutter out of this before I swatch this, because this may end up getting decluttered. I have the Tartist Remix palette. This is what mine looks like. This is a beautiful palette. It performs really nicely, and I really like this palette. This is the Bobbi Brown. It is the Ultraviolet eyeshadow palette. It's just got some really deep tonal values to it. It's just beautiful. this one here. It's really pretty. And especially this one. Right here. So pretty. So then I have the Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette. It has a lot of blues in it. It has this beautiful Moonchild that it has a lot of black, but it has this glitter fleck of blue. I don't know if you can see it with the light shining on it, but it is so pretty in the light. Oh, see that? Oh, it's so good. And then there's this beautiful plum over here, and when the light hits it, it just reflects. Like even this one's pretty. This Wanderlust, oh, it's so pretty. So the one that is really, this cactus is just too cool. If that had a little bit of warmth to it and hadn't been so cool, that would have been such a better shade. Overall, the palette's really, really nice. But this shade right here, it is really pretty. Oh, whenever you swatch it. I don't know if you can tell it on my hand. But yeah, see that? See how pretty that is? Oh, it is so pretty. And then this one, it's so pretty too. It doesn't have as high of a glitter reflect, but it's there. It's just not as high. It makes the palette worth it. I really like this palette because of those two shades. They're good. But there's also quite a bit of other shades that are good here because you've got all of these suede shades down here, like fringe and suede and bohemian. And so whenever you have on that type of, you know, jeans and you're just wanting that colorway, oh, it's really good. This shade right here is the disappointment because you really never wear this color. This color just has too much of this blue in it. I guess if you're going to wear this blue, this will ground it with this. And you can make your colorway with this right here. But to me, this shade right here could be so much better without this color blue in it. But it is what it is. It looks like a book. So it's really, really pretty. Whenever you open it up, you've got a lot of color. If you want a really pretty green, you can get it right here in the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette. That's a pretty green. I really like this palette. You can't really see it for some reason. I think it's just the way that the shadow's casting off of the bright gold packaging, but this is a very pretty palette. There's a lot of good shades. This Winifred is a really nice suede looking color. Kiki is just a mocha shaded brown. It's a good color. This is a good palette. I like this one. I have never used this palette. But it's the Kat Von D 10th anniversary palette, and this is what it looks like. So it's a very colorful palette. I like the artwork on the front of it, and so I just still have it. The Violet Voss Essentials palette, and it looks like this, and so just a simple tin pan eyeshadow palette, and I think I got this in BoxyCharm. The Nabla Poison Garden palette, and it looks like this. So it is warm tones with some pops of color. Just a very pretty palette. So I rather like this palette. It has a beautiful bright royal blue, berry, wine color, purple, coppers. It's really a pretty palette. Of course, I have the Huda Mercury Retrograde palette. I know you guys have all seen this, so I could have put this a lot of places. I could have put it in pinks, purple pinks, but I went ahead and just put it in the colorful section, and I love this palette. It's really, really pretty. Then I also have the Jouer Tan lines. I rather like this palette. It has quite a different formula. Some of them are more of a cream to powder shadow formula, but it's really, really pretty. It's a really nice palette. Palette from Zoeva. This is a new palette that I got in the pop-up shop as an add-on from BoxyCharm last month, and it's really pretty. I cannot wait to use this. I really love this palette, and I probably should have put it in with Warms, but I didn't because it's got some pops of color, so I just put it over in this one. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder palette that we got in BoxyCharm, and it's just a little condensed version of the Celestial Storm palette, and I really like this palette. It makes me where I almost wish I had gotten the full one, but it just don't make sense whenever I've got this many colors of the palette, so I just stuck with the Celestial Thunder. Another Dominique Cosmetics palette that I have is the Lemonade palette, and this is just so pretty. I mean, how can you not like this? Look at that. And this is just a really fun palette. I mean, it's just got so much springy pops of color that you just have to love it. I mean, look at all of that. The yellow alone just makes you happy. It's just a happy palette. It's just a happy palette. This is the Volcano Goddess palette from Becca. I really like this palette. It sort of reminds me of the Vintage Dawn palette in a way, or at least these colors down here do, that we had gotten from Ace Beauty in our BoxyCharm palette. And I really, really like this palette. It's really good. This side right here sort of reminds me of the Lime Crime palette. I have the Norvina palette, and this probably definitely needs to be in the purple pink and not this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move this to the purple pink. The next palette is the Clover palette by Too Faced. And this is just the cutest little palette ever. And it is, of course, got all kinds of pastels in it. It does have neutrals, but it has tons of little pastels. So, of course, I put it in the brights. So, it is really, really cute. And I love the tin packaging by Too Faced. So, I have this palette. The next palette is the Chocolate Gold by Too Faced, and there's a lot of neutrals, but there's also a lot of very colorful colors in here, so I just went ahead and popped this one in here. So this is just a classic palette. Then I have the Alyssa Edwards, and of course we know this is definitely a bright palette. It's got tons of bright colors in here, very bright colors. So definitely it goes in this grouping. Of course, the next palette that goes along with Alyssa Edwards would be the Riviera palette, and it too is full of bright, fun colors, and so I have it grouped right here, and this is probably the quintessential bright palette. Just beautiful. Another quintessential beautiful bright palette is the Jouer Ultra Foil. These are all foil shades, so you know, paired with some of your other palettes, it makes for some really pretty looks, but it's just beautiful, all bright shades. Just a wonderful palette to pick up. I got this one on a really good deal from Jouer for nearly nothing, and it's just gorgeous. I love this palette. Things that I'm not going to open that I have for you to see because you already know what they look like will be the Huda Ruby Obsessions, Amethyst Obsessions, Emerald Obsessions, and Sapphire Obsessions. So I'm just going to go ahead and set those over to the side. I have the Norvina ABH Mini. I don't even know what one this is. It's the Mini Pro Palette Volume 2, which I dearly love, this one. I don't have the Mini Volume 1, and then I have the Mini Volume 3. I think I love this one even more. This is my absolute favorite, and it looks like this. This one is to die for. So pretty. Persona Identity 2 in here because it is a very, I don't know, bright eyeshadow palette. There is a lot of nudes in here, but there's some brights as well. Then I have Night Drama in here. I could have put this a lot of places. Why it ended up here, I really don't know. It's really more of a brown neutral palette, so I don't know why I put it here, but it's here. Maybe it's just the bright navy blue shade that's in here, but I do love this palette. Then I've got the the Dark Edit palette in here because there are a lot of ranges of color in this. There's the colors in there. It's got a really pretty khaki green, a very deep purple, and then a brighter purple here. But it's just a very pretty palette. I really like this one. I love the size of these palettes. They're just really wonderful. They're magnetic, so you can interchange them and you can make whatever you want out of these palettes. I really love them. Of course, I'm putting my Lethal Cosmetics palette in here, and that is what this palette looks like. So it's really pretty. My NARS, I love this palette. Oh, how I love NARS Cosmetics. Oh, I'm a big fan. And I just love this packaging. And this is what the palette looks like. I'm just crazy about this red, and then this red too. This red right here is a matte brick red, and it's so pretty. I love this palette for holiday. I have G-Train by Urban Decay, and this is a beautiful palette too. I really love the sparkle up here on Night Trip, and then I just really like the green of G-Train. Then I have, this is Golden Hour. I don't like these palettes as well as I do the ones that I'm used to that are like the smaller Rosé, the Paris Edit, the Warm Edit, those. So we have went through 44 different bright palettes, and that's oh, that's just what I have in here. So I've got this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So I've got 6 of these. Yeah. So what did you think about the video today? Did you like the format? Is there a different format? Do you want to see swatches? That would take probably forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first go through what I have. And then I'm going to keep everything organized in these baskets. It's going to take forever. So I started out with 47 bright palettes. Then during the, I guess, while I was going through them, I took 3 out and reallocated. So that meant I have 44 total bright palettes. So I'm going to keep this sticky on the inside of this basket. Then when I have went through all of the baskets and shown you what I have, then I'm going to take each palette and I'm going to show you from this basket, you know, I'll say from the brights basket, I have decluttered, you know, this palette, this palette, this palette, this palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this little sticky note here. And then I will, you know, that way I'll know what palette that I declutter is going to come from which palette. And then I'll do at the end, I'll do a declutter video and I'll show you. Now I've already been kind of decluttering some things. So I've got a huge pile of declutter over here and I'll be adding to it from, you know, that was easy declutter. This will be kind of having to think about it. So at least I went through this and I know what's in here, and so I can go ahead and start thinking about it. And then that way, let me know in the comments if you want to see my declutter video. Let me know if you want to see the declutter video. I will set all of my baskets up on my furniture cart and just do it down in the floor, and you know, yeah, I can do that. And you know, then I'll just do it all one video of declutter. But this way I'll have the inventory and you'll know what I have, and then I'll just go through and declutter. But this way I can go ahead and be thinking, you know, what am I going to, you know, declutter? Or I can do a what's on the chopping block video and go ahead and let you know what I'm thinking about decluttering, show you that, and then my final declutter, because this is a lot. So, okay, yeah, let me know what you would like done, and yeah, we can talk about it. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I would love to get some feedback on how you would like for me to proceed moving forward, because I really haven't done these type of videos before, and I look forward to hearing from you. Mwah! Smidges, everybody. Until next time, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel but you'd like to be, it's right down there, the big red box below. And don't forget to hit the post notification while you're there. That's that little bell so you don't miss a thing. See you in my next one, guys. Bye-bye for now.